Hello, good morning, everyone. Hello, good morning, everyone. I want to believe you can hear me. I need us to confirm that. Okay, getting some thumbs up. Yedele, good morning to you, sir. Oyene as well, good morning to you, sir. I see Bola, thank you for joining. Good morning to you, sir. Then Jonathan, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining. And thanks for the confirmation as well for everyone that has joined so far. And I'll put up thumbs up or comments in the chat box. Thank you. You're welcome. It's great to have you join us on today's edition of our morning market review. Thank you very much, Princeville. You're welcome. It's great to have you join us. Thank you, sir. I see Yusuf as well. Thank you for joining. Good morning to you, sir. Yusuf Abdul Kadur. Thank you for joining. Welcome, sir. And thanks for the confirmation as well. Okay. 2 more minutes and then we get started so more people can join us. Okay. That's 8:10 on the DOT. That's when we start. All right. We're just going to wait 2 more minutes for more people to join in. Oyene Daniel, thank you. Good morning once again. Thank you for joining. Good morning to you, sir. All right. Have more people joining in. We have just 1 more minute and then we get started. Okay. Because sometimes I like to wait 5 minutes usually so that people have been technical issues that we fix that before we get started so we all can be on the same page. Okay. 1 more minute and then we get started. Okay, so that's it. Um, so we should go right ahead. All right. So good morning once again. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time out to join us on today's edition of the Morning Market Review. All right. It's your first time. It's good to have you as well. Thank you for joining. All right. And also, as a quick reminder, on this forum every day, we get to look at what's going on in the markets. All right. In terms of fundamental setups that we have, um, plus the technical setups as well. Okay. And also with the hope that we'll be able to, so we do all of this with the hope that we'll be able to pick a few entries and trade ideas for today and even for the rest of the week. Right. So without further ado, let's get right to it. And usually we start with the majors, and then from there we start examining other peers as well to check their important key levels and the potential trade setups that they have, especially for today. And then We also have assets that we can add to our watch list even for the rest of the week. All right. And I would also like to have that. This is also with the hope that listen long enough, you're also able to come up with your own profitable strategies that eventually gives you an edge over the markets. All right. Um, so before we get on with technicals, very quickly, let's see the fundamental that we have today. All right, we have for pounds, and I would like to touch on that very briefly before we move on to the technical setups on the chart. All right, so permit me to share my screen. Just a step forward while I do that. Forexfactory.com, the preferred economic calendar right there. So I'm going to refresh it to make sure it is updated. Okay, so this came out about 10, 12 minutes ago, 8 a.m. Okay, and this is for the British pounds, and it's called Claimant Count Change. Okay, Claimant Count Change, and to put that simply, it measures the change in the number of people that are claiming unemployment-related benefits. All right, which is for the month of October. All right, for the month of October. That's for the claimant count that we have there. It's just a fancy way of saying how many people are asking the government for unemployment money. All right. Um, this is the day. Good morning to you, sir. It's great to know that you joined from Ilori. Thank you very much for joining. It's great to have you join us on this session of the morning market review. All right. So on this forum every day, Monday through to Friday, especially for those who are just joining for the first time, we get to look at what's going on in the markets. We look at the fundamentals as well as the technical setups that we have. All right. For today, and for the rest of the week. Oh, thank you so much for that feedback, Mr. Brown. Thank you, sir. I hope it's better now. I've increased it. Okay, so I was talking about the claimant count chain that we have for British pounds, which came out about 15 minutes ago. All right. So I was telling us that it's saying how many people are asking the government for unemployment money because they don't have a job. All right. So it's a count of jobless people who are claiming. So it shows how that number has moved compared to the last month. Okay. So the claimant count change goes up. All right. It means more people lost jobs and are now asking for help. All right. The economy might be slowing down and people are spending less. That is, and if it goes down, it means fewer people are jobless. It goes down, which is a good sign for the economy. All right, that's if it goes down, as it shows the economy is doing well and businesses are strong and people have work. That's what it means. But in this case, previous value was 25,800, forecast at 17,600, and then the actual at 29,000, all right, which means the value has actually gone up, all right, which is bad for the British pounds. That's what it means, all right, because if you look at, usually we say that when actual is greater than forecast, it is good for the currency. But in this case, because it is unemployment, which is already a negative term, all right. So what it means is that the number of people that are claiming unemployment related benefits have actually gone up compared to the previous month. All right. And this is, like I said, this is bad for the British pounds. All right. And if you look at what's going on with the British pounds right now, we see a decline. All right. We see a decline for that. Okay. So now we can head over to the trading platform to see the technical setups that we have. Then we'll also check out how the pound is doing as a result of that fundamental, right? As a result of that fundamental. But first, we're going to start with the dollar index as we normally do, right? Just a second while I put that up. Okay, so I have it right there. I also believe you can still hear me. All right, thank you, Yusuf, for the confirmation. Okay, so I have, all right, thank you. Oyedele, thank you, sir, for the confirmation. Right, so I have the trading platform right here. And then, as we normally do, I'm going to start with the dollar index and then we can move on to pounds from there. You can move on to pounds. Right. So this is the USD index. I like to start from here to understand the direction of the dollar itself, and then we can relate this to the rest of the major pairs that we have. All right. And then I don't know if I should do a quick recap for the overview for the USD index because if you look at this ascending channel, it's one that I've highlighted multiple times to us on this forum. All right, dates back to as far as 2010. All right, 2010, and then it supported price multiple times. Okay, and then when price tested the trend line support right here recently, I knew that this might be the bottom for the USD index, and then from there we start seeing moves higher. And so far, that has been playing out. Okay, that has been playing out. Right. So on the daily time frame, this is what it looks like. Now, don't forget, as much as we can use the monthly or weekly time frame to get perspectives, as day traders or as scalpers or as intraday traders, okay, we really don't pay much attention to the weekly or the monthly time frame because I believe, in my opinion, they are so far out that they really don't have much relevance to us as day traders. All right. So I believe the daily or the 4 hours time frame is the best place to start. Uh, on those time frames, we can determine the trend, structure, important support and resistance levels, and then tune down to a much lower one for a more precise entry. All right. So for me, I like to get the direction and structure on the daily or 4 hours time frame, and then tune down to either 15 minutes or 30 minutes time frame for entry. All right. So if you look at what we have on the daily time frame, I remember last time on this session, price was around here. If you remember that, if you were here, price was approaching this resistance. The last time we had a session on this forum, all right, on a Tuesday, that was 4th of November, I believe. Price was around here, and then I was telling us that we could have a potential pullback before the next leg higher. And so far, that's what we have. And I even remember drawing where the pullback area is expected, all right, where we expect the pullback to get to as a result of this previous high right here. So it was this previous high that was recently broken to create this new high. So based on technical analysis, we expect price to test that area before the next leg higher. All right. And so far, that is playing out as expected. Price has now sufficiently tested that pullback area that we drew from the last time, and is now beginning to push higher from there. Okay. Now, I also remember telling us that if the pullback would happen this way, then we can expect euro dollar, pounds dollar to continue to push higher, all right, from that last time. Okay, so now that USD index has tested the pullback area, and we are now seeing some push to the upside. Okay, that's what we have on the daily time frame. And then if you look at structure here, it's still very much bullish. You see series of higher lows and higher highs. So this right here is the last higher high, and then we now see the higher low set up right here for the next higher high to happen. Okay, so that's what we have on the daily time frame. And like I said, the daily time frame is our anchor chart. Here the main analysis is carried out on the daily or 4 hours, and then we can tune down to a much lower one for entry opportunities. Okay, so let's see what that means on 15 minutes. Okay, so this is what it looks like on 15 minutes time frame. Let's see if we can connect a channel right here. So now we need a more precise entry. That's what it means. Okay. Right. And then we have this channel right here. Have this channel right here. Okay. So price tested the support side, and then we got this move higher. Okay. So for me, if price returns to the trend line support, that would be, of course, plus additional layer of information, some bullish pattern, some buying pressure around this support. All right, to signify that we're going to get a move higher from the USD index. And that, if that's going to happen, then the main case that Euro USD and pound USD will start experiencing a decline from the current level if this continues to push higher based on the ascending channel pattern that we have right here. Okay, so that's it for the USD index. Okay, now moving on to Thomas, you may have to check your end. You may have to check your end. I have several confirmation that is loud and clear. You may have to check your own devices to make sure it's properly connected. Okay, that's for Thomas. Right. Thank you, Yusuf, for the confirmation. All right. So I'm going to start with the uh, pounds USD. All right. We'll start with pounds USD as a result of the news that we got earlier. Right. So as a result of the news that we got earlier, uh, because unemployment, people claiming unemployment benefits are increased, it means that is bad for pounds. That's bad for pounds. All right. That's bad for pounds. And then you can expect pounds USD to continue to decline. Okay, expect pound USD to continue to decline. All right, and if you look at what we have here, initially I thought this was going to set up for a fake out. All right, I thought this was going to set up for a fake out. What does that mean? All right, price broke below this significant level at 1.314. If you look back, you see how that same level at 1.314 as a supported price. Okay. And when we got this break below, ideally, it should have continued to create lower highs and lower lows. All right. But what did we get? Price closing back above uh, the price level at 1.314. All right. All right, that's good to know, Thomas. So price closed back above 1.314. So what that means is that this right there is a breakout that failed, and then failed breakouts like this usually are high probability trade setups. Usually they trigger an extensive move in the opposite direction. All right. So now that we experienced a fake out, in this manner, it is now expected that price will now aggressively push higher. All right. Now, this is of course solved as a result of the news that we got earlier for pounds, I believe, and then the USD, I believe, has also completed its pullback and it's now beginning to push higher. All right. So this also may be experiencing trend continuation to the downside. All right. Because if we look at what happened here as well, price broke here again above this key level at 1.358. All right. It's impacted price multiple times, acting as resistance. And eventually we got that break above that level. And almost immediately price closed back below 1.358. So here we got a fake out as well. And like I said, they are high probability trade setups, and usually they trigger an extensive move in the opposite direction. All right. So for this buy side, when that fake out happened, we got these aggressive sell-off right there. Okay, delivering so far more than 500 pips, all right? Delivering 500 pips so far. So in the same way, if we look at the fake out here as well, although it's looking at this is going to fail, it's looking at this is going to fail, and we would most likely not get an aggressive move in the opposite direction in this case, all right? So now, this level at 1.314 is now acting as resistance for price. Currently, price is below 1.314. Now that's the daily time frame. Now we head to 15 minutes to see what it looks like. Okay, right. So this is as a result of the news that came out earlier for pounds. Okay, it's it came out really poor for pounds. It's increased. The number of people claiming unemployment benefits increased, and that's bad for pounds. That's bad for pounds, and that's responsible for this move to the downside. All right. So currently we have resistance at 1.314. We have resistance at 1.314. So what that means is that we look for sell opportunities below 1.314. All right. In the event that price closes back above that resistance, then maybe setting up for a push higher. It's setting up for a push higher above 1.314. But currently, prices below 1.314 resistance. So what that means is that we need some additional layer of information. We need some selling pressure around that resistance in order to short pound USD. In order to short pound USD. So that's it. That's what I'll be looking out for here in order to take a trade on pounds USD. I need to see some selling pressure below that resistance at 1.314. All right. Okay, so this is back on the daily time frame. I need to quickly highlight this as well because I remembered last time in this forum, I highlighted this level, right? So we got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 days of bullish move with no retracement at all right? So imbalances like this do act as magnet for price, all right? So if we check out the 50% of that move, using the Fibonacci tool, we check out the 50% of that move. Okay, it comes in around, if you're going to highlight that, this is 50 level. Okay, 1.294, 1.294, 1.294. All right, so I have it there already. What am I doing simply? I'm trying to see how price takes care of these imbalances that was left behind here. Like I said, we got about 5 days of bullish move with no retracement at all right? And this is unusual for price to just continue to push higher without retracement. Okay, so like I said, imbalances like this do act as magnets for price. So in the coming days, it won't be surprising to see price pushing towards this area. Yeah, that's why I like it. Between 1.294 and 1.285. Okay, to fill in some of these imbalances that was left behind right there. Okay, so I'm going to keep this on my chart to see how that plays out. All right, and again, what would invalidate this for Council USD? What would invalidate this setup, this bearish bias that we have, would be a close back above resistance at 1.314. If we get that, then it has the potential to push higher towards levels like 1.325 and 1.333. Okay, so that's it for pounds USD. That's it for pounds USD. Yes, that's correct. Endurance. Let me just call you endurance. Okay. Yes, that's correct. So this is Euro USD. This is Euro USD. This is Euro USD. Again, taking it from the daily time frame, of course, this is similar to what we have for pounds USD. Again, we have bearish structure right here. You see series of lower highs and lower lows. Okay, and then the last lower low right here has also given rise to this lower high. Okay, this lower high. So I believe even for Euro USD, the pullback, I believe is complete, and then it should be setting up for the next leg lower to create a new lower low. Okay, but of course, we're going to need some additional confirmations for entry. All right, we're going to need some additional confirmations for entry. So currently, we have this level here, which is one to watch. We have this level here at 1.1555. Okay. If you look back, you see how that level, that same level supported price right here, a few pips away here, and then here as well, supported price. We see some confluence of resistance right there as well. Okay, for that strengthening the validity of the 1.1555 price level. Okay, so we take that to, and then we see price beginning to move sideways, all right, beginning to move sideways around that level. 1, 2, 3. For 3 days now, it stayed on the same level. Okay, so let's take that to 15 minutes. Okay, I'm going to take this out. I saw this yesterday. When price broke below this area, it's set up for fantastic buy right there. I saw it yesterday. So I'm going to take it out and then have resistance right there. And then this looks more like a trend line. Okay, so for Euro USD on the 15 minutes time frame, I need to see a breakout. All right, I need to see a breakout. Remember the daily time frame, you see how it stayed on the same level for 3 days now. All right, so taking that to 15 minutes, taking that to 15 minutes, we see these two levels, all right? Resistance around 1.156, and then this trend line support right here, right? So the direction in which this breaks out will be significant moving forward, all right? To be significant moving forward. I'd like to see a break to this downside though, to align with what we have for USD index, right? I'd like to see a break to the downside. So if I see a break below this trend line support, a close below that trend line support, that will be my trigger to short Euro USD. However, of course, we like to consider all scenarios. Okay, we like to consider all scenarios. We don't get too comfortable with a specific trade plan. All right. So, as much as I like the idea of a move lower, once it breaks below this trend line support, of course, price is dynamic. It also has the potential to break and move to a resistance line and continue to push higher. And that's why I need to see how this plays out in order to know in which direction to take my trades. Okay, so that's it for USD. Okay, so I'll be waiting for either a break above that resistance or below this trend line support for entry opportunity. Okay, and Euro USD. Right, moving on to USD later. Ajayi Kayode, I believe, Ajayi Kayode. Above this trend line support, it's good for a buy as long as it is above this trend line support. All right. Once it breaks below that trend line support, it's going to signify weakness. All right. It's going to signify weakness. But for me, I'll be waiting for a break either above resistance at 1.156 or a break below this trend line support for entry opportunity. All right. That's how I'm going to approach this. Okay. But as long as it's above this trend line support, it's good for a buy. That's potential to push higher above this trend line support. So back to USD switcher. Back to USD switcher. Right. So for USD switcher, initially we got this triangle right here to highlight it properly. Okay, so we got this triangle right here initially, all right, and then eventually price broke to the upside, all right. Convincingly, we got this bullish engulfing candle breaking above the trend line resistance of that triangle, all right. We got a retest testing that same trend line as support, yet another bullish engulfing candle, and then we got that aggressive push to the upside, all right, and then resistance around 0.81 so far. Resistance around 0.81, and then we got that push lower, which of course is expected as well. All right, based on what has happened here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of bullish candles, all right, with no retracement at all. You'll notice that this is similar to what I highlighted for Pound USD right here. Okay, so let's get the potential retracement area for USD CHF. Okay, and that would be 50% Fibo level. All right. So I'm going to change the color here to highlight it. Okay, so this is USD CHF. For the retracement level, I just used the Fibonacci tool to confirm that. So it has the potential to still come inside of 0.80164, which is the 50% Fibonacci level. All right. But first, we need to see a break below 0.804 support right there. Okay, we need to see a break below that. If you look back, you'll notice that level has supported and resisted price multiple times. So it has impacted the price of USD CHF multiple times. All right. So that level is quite significant. All right. So let's take that to 15 minutes. Right. So on 15 minutes time frame, this is the same 0.804 support level. All right. This is the same 0.804 support level. So what it means is that as long as price stays above that support, then it has potential to push higher. All right. Above 0.804, which is a significant support level. All right. For USD CHF. So if we do get some buying pressure around this support area, then we can expect a push towards 0.806. However, what would invalidate that again would be a close below 0.804. If we get that, then we have eyes on the 50% Fibonacci level, which comes in around 0.80164. Okay, currently sitting on this support at 0.804. So we wait to see how price reacts at that same level. All right. See how this is 15 minutes time frame. Right. This is 15 minutes time frame. Okay. So we need to see price close below 0.804 to have some confirmation that it's going to push to the downside below 0.804. Okay. Endurance says I didn't start the feed at the top week of that top candlestick. Yeah, it was deliberate because I don't know if you're referring to USD CHF here. Let me see. It's deliberate. I like to connect at least two candles. Okay, I like to connect at least two candles. So I did that deliberately. If you look at what I did there, I connected these two candles right here. And then for this one, of course, I could have put it here, but I need at least two candles. That's why I'm putting it right there. Okay, that's why. So it's deliberate. And then I'm using that to determine the 50% people level, which comes in at 0.80164. So I get what you mean there. Endurance. All right, so that's it for USD CHF. So like I said, okay, currently we're seeing some aggressive move below that support at 0.804. Okay. Yes, you can set that up. You can set that up as soon as possible. All right. Uh, EK is asking if you can have a session on Fibonacci. Okay, you can set that up as soon as possible. All right. So currently we see this aggressive break below support. So this level automatically flips to resistance. Currently, this level automatically flips to resistance. So now that we have a break below that support, it is further, all right, it is further confirming that we have the potential for price to test that stable level, 50% stable level that I just highlighted now that we have the break below. All right. So on 15 minutes time frame, I need to see a follow through candle. Okay, what does that mean? I need to see the next red candle to confirm that this will continue to push lower. All right. Once I get that, then it's going to be it's going to set up for a sell. All right. It's going to set up for a sell, and then this remains the resistance 0.804. Okay. So if you get that, if you get a follow through bearish candle for this current 15 minutes, then I will confirm the sell entry for me. I will confirm the sell entry. And then this remains the resistance. And again, what would invalidate that would be if it goes back above the resistance. Okay, that's for USD CHF. All right, thanks for that confirmation. Moving on to NZD now. Moving on to NZD. We've had eyes on NZD. If you have been following us on this forum, you've had eyes on this, all right? I remember at the time was pushing into the upside right here, all right? I was telling us how it has the potential to test the trend line resistance for this descending channel in this case, for this descending channel. It's still very much intact. And currently, we have price at the support side of that channel, all right? This trend line support. So I'm going to extend it even further. See why I like to leave trend lines on the chart. I remember last week someone was asking why I still have these trend lines on the chart. All right. What I do is just continue to extend it as long as it remains intact. Just continue to extend uh, the trend lines. All right. So for NZUSD, currently we have this level as support. We have this level as support. So if break below that, we confirm more push to the downside, confirm more push to the downside. All right. So this is one that I'm interested in. I'll continue to uh, uh, see this asset set up for sale, right? Set up for sale. Okay. So let's push that to 15 minutes. Okay, so this is what we have 15 minutes. We have support here. Then I see that the same level impacted price in the past, which makes it even more valid. All right. So I'm waiting for a break below that support in order to short NZD USD. And then prices also below the 50 period moving average. All right. For that confirming the weakness for NZD against USD. Right. So because it's sitting on this support, I need to see a break below that support before I take trades right there. And then on this support, we already have this bullish engulfing candle. All right, we have this bullish engulfing candle, which means that it has the potential to push higher. It has the potential to push higher. In that case, I'll be looking at the 50 period moving average to act as magnets, and then I take myself from there because currently we have the bullish engulfing candle right there, which means it's setting up for a push higher, right? Setting up for a push higher. So what I would mean is that I'll be looking towards the 50 period moving average to take myself, right? To take myself, or a break below support right there. Okay. NZD USD. USD JPY too. USD JPY is also around this resistance. Okay. In this case, we have a standing channel, ascending channel. You see how this ascending channel, the trend line resistance and the trend line support have impacted price multiple times. Okay. You see it here as support, you see it here as resistance, support right here. as resistance, as support, resistance, and then here as resistance as well. Currently, here we have USD as the base currency. Okay, we have USD as the base currency. Okay, so I would like to see a break above that trend line resistance. Okay, I would like to see a break above the trend line resistance for this to continue to push higher. Okay, I'd like to see a break above that resistance. So let's take that to 15 minutes. Okay, this is what it looks like. At 15 minutes, we have our trend line resistance right here. Our trend line resistance right here. Okay, so currently prices are below resistance. All right, prices below resistance, and then we see some sideways movements right there. And then on these 15 minutes, we see lower highs and lower lows right there. We see this high, we see low, see lower high, we see lower low, and then you have the most recent lower high right here. Okay, so let's highlight the support. 15 minutes time frame. So we have resistance here, and then we have support right here on this 15 minutes time frame. Okay, so for one, I would like to see a break above that resistance in order to long USD JPY, or a push to the downside towards this support at 154 or thereabout, and then wait for some buying pressure around that support for me to long, all right, to long USD JPY. Okay, so these are the two things I'll be looking out for on USD JPY. One is a break above resistance, all right, or a push back to support at 154 right there. And then upon confirmation of some buying pressure at that level, then I take my buy. Right? Then I take my buy from that support. USD JPY on 15 minutes time frame. Yeah, I'd also like to touch on Euro AUD for obvious reason. For obvious reason, okay. And the reason is because we see this consolidation phase that has now lasted. Let's see it. This was back in June, right? This was back in June. So we have uh, around middle of June. Okay, so we have June, July, August, September, October, November. Okay, currently. So what it means is that for about 6 months, this has been ranging. All right, for about 6 months now, this has been consolidating, and that is quite significant. You know, I remember at the time we had a 2 year consolidation on USD card. And then I was highlighting the fact that the longer a consolidation phase lasts, the more aggressive the resulting breakout usually is. Okay. So this is the reason I'm adding this to my watch list, or I've added this to my watch list. All right. I'm interested in the direction this breaks out eventually. All right. Now, before we get that breakout, the way to trade this would be to buy at support right here and then sell at resistance. Support at 1.76 and resistance at 1.805. All right. As many times as we see that, we continue to buy at support and sell at resistance until we get that break out of this consolidation, either to the downside or to the upside. Now, don't forget, I said that the longer a consolidation phase lasts, the more aggressive the resulting breakout usually is. Okay, so this is one that I'm very much interested in, waiting for the direction in which this breaks out eventually. But before then, I'll be taking buys from support at 1.76 and sell for 1.805. Right. So you see it on 15 minutes now. Okay, so on this 15-minute time frame, we have this resistance here. On 15 minutes time frame, we have this resistance at 1.773. All right, at 1.773. Okay, so uh, at this resistance, if we get some bearish confirmation, we may get further push to the downside. However, if we have a close above that resistance, okay, we get a close above that resistance, then we can expect it to continue to push to the downside. And if you look at the daily time frame, it just tested the support and is now beginning to push towards the resistance yet again. But we cannot also ignore the resistance that we have here on 15 minutes, around 1.773. Okay. See it right here as well, and then here as well. Okay, so that's why that level is significant. Okay, Euro AUD, Euro AUD. AUD USD, um, USD card. Okay, I prefer USD card, and then we touch on oil, then wrap it up with oil. So first, USD card, USD card, USD card, because we have this ascending channel right there for USD card. Started in July, started in July since we got this triple bottom pattern right here, all right, which is a bullish reversal pattern. And so far, that has played out really nicely. Okay, so things to further extend this strong line resistance. Okay, extend this support as well. Right. So I have USD card, all right? USD card also printing series of higher lows and higher highs, all right? USD is the base currency here, okay? And then we have resistance at 1.406, okay? We have resistance at 1.406. So we take that to 15 minutes. Right. So on 15 minutes, we have it at support. We have it at support. Okay. And then it's also above the 50 period moving average. Okay. So what we need to see here is some buying pressure, right, around the current level. We now need to see some buying pressure. Let us start with we need to see some bullish reversal patterns. Okay. For us to have confirmation that this will push higher from the current level. Okay. This is 15 minutes. This is 15 minutes. So we need this current candle to start and finish so that we can have that confirmation. Okay. We need this current candle to start and finish. Of course, a lot can happen in 15 minutes. A lot can happen in 15 minutes. So we wait for this current candle to start and finish. And then we can also expect this particular moving average to act as magnet for price. Okay, so in the event that this current bearish candle tests that 50 period moving average line, okay, if we get some bullish patterns, we now begin to see some green candles around the moving average. Okay, that would be the confirmation we need to long USD card. Okay, that would be the confirmation we need to long USD card. All right. So I touch on oil before we call it a day. So you take this to the daily time frame. Take this to the daily time frame. All right. Now for oil, there's been some announcements from OPEC that from uh, December, right? From December, output will be increased by about 137,000 barrels per day. All right. That means that we're going to get surplus. All right. And surplus means that price is going to crash. All right. That's fundamentally okay. That's according to fundamentals. All right. Now, if you look at the technicals that we have here, if you look at the technical setup that we have here, this is 64.5 level. This is 64.5 level. Now, price broke below that key level at 64.5. And then ideally, like I said, once we get a break below a key level like this, ideally, it should continue to push lower. Okay, it should continue to push to the downside. But so far, that didn't happen. Instead, we got it close back above 64.5 right here. So what it means is that the whole of the price here is supposed to take out. Okay, it's supposed to take out. All right. Now, when that happens, we got this aggressive move to the upside. Okay, but at the same time, after this bullish candle closed, ideally we should also see a series of higher lows and higher highs because it has now closed back above resistance. All right. All the while price was below 64.5, 64.5 automatically flipped to resistance. But now we got this bullish candle above 64.5, which automatically flips down level back to support. And then since price closed back above that 64.5, started seeing these lows, all right? Price started creating these lows, created a low here, created a lower high right here, and then expect that another lower high will set up right here. And currently it is below resistance at 64.5. All right, see how significant that is. And for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 days now, price has stayed on this same level. All right, so this is one that I'm pretty much interested in. All right, this is one that I'm pretty much interested in, and I believe it's going to present a fantastic trade opportunity eventually. All right, so this is daily time frame. So I take that to 15 minutes. Right, I take that to 15 minutes, and then I still have eyes on these trend line support. All right. So from that trend line support, you see prices beginning to push higher. Right. So I'll be watching what happens at 64.5 resistance. Watching what happens at 64.5 resistance. If price retest that resistance, or if we get a break below that trend line support, all right, that would be the trigger to short. Right? That would be the trigger to short. That's one. Or you get a push back to 64.5 resistance. I need to see some selling pressure, some bearish reversal patterns at that 64.5 resistance. And then that would be my signal to short from there. Okay, that'll be my signal to short from that level. For endurance, now I wish you had dropped this earlier so it can be addressed. You need to check, you need to really check because price has the potential to move really fast. So it's possible that you're not entering the trades at the same price. It's very much possible that you're not entering the trades at the same price. These are things that we need to confirm. Okay, these are things that we need to confirm to know what exactly went wrong with your own trades. Okay? So know what exactly went on with your own trades. You may reach out after this session so that we can further confirm that observation. Okay. All right. So this is where we leave it for today. This is where we leave it for today. been able to touch on a number of assets for today and even for the rest of the week that we can watch. All right. So thank you for taking the time out to join today. All right. Tomorrow is another session again from 8 a.m. We're going to have another edition of the morning market with you. Do plan to join us yet again. Thank you very much for showing up on a daily basis. It's been a pleasure talking to us for the past hour. And here is me signing out and wishing us a great trading day. Thank you.